Okay, so we've now mastered uphill and downhill. Let's have a little look at the side hill. And the first one we're going to look at is the ball above our feet. And for those of you who have hit that odd little pushy slicey one off the first hole and you find your ball just at the bottom of the bank of the out of bounds, or even halfway up the bank out of bounds, for the right-handers amongst you, this is really going to help. The first thing we need to understand when we are actually discussing up side hill shots is we need to understand a bit of technical jargon, and it's referred to as face plane tilt. And what does that mean? Well, quite simply, it's as follows. When we return the golf club to the floor, that's all of us, we'd like the sole of the golf club to be flatly engaged with the ground like so. If the face is then square to the target, hopefully you can see with my pen there, that is now pointing straight down the target line. But when we actually get the club to arrive back to the ground and it isn't striking the flat part of the sole, so it's either on the heel or either on the toe, if you watch very carefully here now, you'll notice I'm not going to physically close or open the face. All I'm going to do is lower the shaft. So I'm lowering the shaft, and as I lower the shaft, you'll notice that that pen is now pointing lower and to the left. And if I now raise it up and up onto its toe, again, I'm not closing the face. This is called face plane tilt. This is the natural dynamics. That's going higher and out to the right. It's one of the reasons why it's so important to be fitted properly for golf clubs, because you may have a static fitting that could be like this, but if you're returning the golf club in this position every time, then clearly you need to have a club that accommodates this coming flat to the floor each time. Anyway, so once we understand face plane tilt, we can now start to appreciate why the ball curves off side hill lies. Because if I now present this golf club to this lie here, I've now got my leading edge so that it's at right angles to the target line, but when I factor in face plane tilt, that pen now is pointing over here to the left hand side. So unless I accommodate for that, the ball is going to go sharp left. The other thing to consider is the heel now is engaging with the floor. So it's very likely that as it comes into the ground and into impact, it's going to turn, thus exaggerating that club face closure through the shot. So how do we play the shot? Well, we've got to recognise the ball's going to go right to left. So we need to aim for right to left shot. Now if we're playing that shot up the bank at the first, that's actually going to get us quite close to going straight up the slope, because we're going to have that curvature on the shot. But it probably isn't going to be quite straight up, it's going to be a little bit more across the slope. The swing itself has to come from a posture that is more vertical. Quite simply, the ball is higher, so you need to be straighter up here. There's no point in taking your normal posture here, because all that will happen is you'll bury the club in the ground before the ball. So get yourself standing higher. Go down the handle a little bit. That's going to help accommodate the more rounded swing that we're going to naturally make. And it's also going to help the club not reach the ground too early. But one of the most important things to consider is follow the slope from low to high. So here is the low part of the slope, and here is the high part of the slope. So when I'm swinging this golf club, I need to get the picture that I'm coming from low to high, and that way the club will graze through the ground, present maximum loft to the ball. Yes, you'll get right to left curvature, but the ball will soar out and it'll actually go quite a long way. You have to be brave with this one though, and aim it out of bounds and let it come back. If you don't want to be so brave, much shorter club, and then just pop it across the out of bounds onto the fairway the other side. But just let's remember this thing, on ball above your feet, straighter in the posture, lower in the handle. Remember the natural face plane tilt. There's no way you can avoid that. Low to high, low to high, and that'll send the ball soaring up with a big right to left curvature, and it'll go a long way. So good luck with that.